Hi guys, welcome to another episode of The Break. So I started this series mainly to bring our attention to a few topics along the way. If you have not seen the other videos, please take some time and go and review them. They're pretty short and pretty quick. You could probably wrap up most of the videos in about 30 minutes, to be honest with you. So I wanted this series to just be able to touch base with you guys in a different environment. Judy, and my goal for my channel is to focus on our minds, our bodies, and our spirits, and provide information that is good for the group in general. Men out there, hope you're watching the video because this information is good for you too. This is not just for women. So let's get started. 2025, at the beginning of 2025, we did a lot on goal setting. Prior to 2025, we used journaling so that we can at least get an idea of where we stand and what we want to accomplish, what things kind of pull at your heartstrings, and what you want to focus on, right? What is your goal? What are the goals that you wanted to focus on? And so that you were able to narrow down those goals. So we started with a lot of journaling. We did a lot of journal prompts, and I just want to let you know that December is right around the corner. So we are back to where we need to be, getting us prepared for 2026. So in this episode of The Break, I want to focus a little bit on self, right? And why do we journal? So when you journal, what happens is you start to see patterns in what you write. You start to see patterns in how you talk about yourself or talk to yourself. You start to see patterns in how you think. So journaling can unlock those areas and a lot of areas for you that you did not realize. You didn't realize that you were thinking this way about yourself, or you didn't realize you were thinking or feeling this way about someone that may be in your life. So that's what journaling does for you. It can also help you pinpoint a goal, can help you pinpoint mainly what you think you should be working on, and even maybe for people who are in your life that could help you with that goal. You can also pinpoint, help you focus on areas that are going well for you in your life, areas of gratitude, areas where you may not even realize, or you may not have realized how much you gained or how much knowledge you gained. So journaling can bring out a lot in you. So when you journal, always think about what's in your heart. Journal with your heart and your head. Don't just journal with your head. Okay, I want you to think about that. Journal with your heart and mind and your head. Okay, think about yourself as if you were a 10-year-old child or a 5-year-old child. Try to connect those feelings, because we all have the same feelings, whether or not you're 5, whether or not you're 10, the feelings are the same, right? We just express them differently when we're 5 versus when we are 15 versus when we are 45 or 85. We express those feelings differently. Sometimes it's really hard for us to identify feelings as an adult or as we are. We try to mask them, we try to discredit them. So really try to tap into the actual feeling. And I know sometimes feeling words are very hard for people. You can't find the word to describe how you're feeling. So I think something that we'll do in the break is to just go over some feeling words, so that you can connect mainly with those words and use those words in your vocabulary. We really need to spruce up our vocabulary when we talk about our feelings, so that when we talk to other people about how we're feeling, we can be clear about it. We can be clear and use the proper terminology so that those around us can understand exactly how we're feeling. So in preparation for December, We are going to work on developing proper terminology. We're going to work on using I words. We're going to work on preparing just the journal process, and getting us ready for the 2026 year, getting us ready for goal setting. So we're not going to set any goals, right? We're not going to set any goals. We're not going to think about that. Right now, I want you to be able to connect with who you are at this time and space. Who are you, right? So when you're journaling, you have to think about who you are right now. But ultimately, you want to put into words how you're feeling. You want to be able to use the proper terminology. Um, so that's something that we need to think about when when we are writing down our goals and making those statements. Okay. So, one of the things I notice too when I am journaling, and I do different kinds of journaling. I may do gratitude. I may be just trying to get words on the paper, expressing how I feel, right? Or I may be writing based on a reaction to something someone said, or I may be writing based on gratitude. There's lots of different ways or reasons why I journal. There may be a specific thing that I am working on that I need to journal about, with myself, emotionally. So sometimes you're journaling and it is just to get the words out on the paper, right? Sometimes you just need to get it out and no one's available at the time, and you just write it down, because if you speak it, it may come out wrong. So sometimes you're journaling because of that. So, but what we're going to do in the last month of the fourth quarter, which will start next week, we're going to focus on getting closer to ourselves, to our true selves. And how do you do that? You're going to use I statements. You're going to be specific about the feeling words that you use, and you're going to think about yourself. Think about yourself as you are right now. You're starting from where you are. There's nowhere else for you to start from, right? In your journaling, sometimes you write about the fact that you were not understood. And that's okay to write that. But just remember that your goal is not necessarily always to be understood. Your goal is to get it out. So your goal is to get the words out, to get the feelings out. Okay? Not necessarily to be understood. So thank you so much for joining me in this episode of The Break. Next episode, we will focus on purposefully writing in our journals. And I will see you next time. Bye.